opening presents.
I have fond memories when it comes to the cartoon Spongebob Squarepants. I watched it when it first premiered on Nickelodeon back in 1999 or 2000, and to this day, I still put on an episode or two from time to time, not only for nostalgia's sake, just to also see how well they hold up. And time again, I'm blown away at just how many do, across so many seasons. But that's just the cartoon itself. When it came to other media SpongeBob was applied to, I never really was drawn to it, with the only exception being the Curse of the Flying Dutchman PS2 game. So when it was announced that THQ Nordic was remaking a certain SpongeBob game, I was curious. So I looked into Battle for Bikini Bottom's ongoing online popularity, and I decided to take a look at it. So as a newcomer, I'm sure you're wondering what I thought of Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Long story short, I loved it. Long story long, it's a really good game. Now, Battle for Bikini Bottom is a 3D platformer, and it plays like a long interactive episode of the show, where Plankton's latest scheme is to use an army of robots to take over Bikini Bottom has backfired, and now it's up to SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy to collect enough golden spatulas to get into the chum bucket and stop the robot menace. I know this wasn't a narrative-driven experience, and I sure as hell was not expecting Citizen Kane, but I really do need to praise the writing. When I said it feels like an interactive episode, I mean it. A lot of the dialogue and character interactions just ooze charm and humour, and I dare say I was laughing at least once every 15 or 20 minutes while playing. It also helps that for the most part the voice cast reprise their roles for this game. The only characters that aren't voiced by their actors, Mr. Krabs and Mermaid Man, just sound like poor imitations of the real voices and really lack any personality. So whenever they're on screen, the game feels less authentic, which pulls you out of the experience. But once one of the original actors starts talking, you are pulled right back in.
If you take this golden spatula, will you please go away?
See, Squidward? I knew that you could help me out. You're the best.
Don't touch me.
Now, since this is a direct remake, nothing has been changed from the original release, so it's still a collectathon where you run around open levels, collecting stuff and completing challenges. It's simple, to the point, easy, and at times extremely easy where there's no challenge. But that's not a bad thing, since while gameplay is simple, the game does constantly shake things up to keep you interested, and it's not afraid to throw a few legitimate challenges at you. A personal favourite for me was a Rube Goldberg machine in the Murmur Lair. We have to make use of physics and platforming abilities just to flip a switch, and it was just so much fun figuring that out. The platforming itself is tight and responsive, with SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy all handling differently with their own unique abilities, which gives the player a reason to revisit older levels to gather collectibles that weren't available without a certain character unlocked. An issue I do have is that there isn't a whole lot that differentiates these characters outside of their abilities. I'd prefer it if each character had their own attack power or number of underpants they could wear, just to make each character more challenging in different parts of the game. As it is, you have less of a reason to swap SpongeBob for another character outside a puzzle necessity where you have to swap them out, and he does get the lion's share of the abilities anyway. In fact, now that I'm on this, some of the puzzles can get annoying. Primarily the ones where you're required to be constantly swapping out characters, since in order to do this you have to backtrack to a bus stop again and again to change them out as many times as required, and this got on my nerves. But the one aspect of the game that's always fun, and I dare say is undeniably the best part, are the skating tracks. These were executed flawlessly. The sense of speed and gravity allows for some of the most fun platforming challenges in the game, and they also offer up plenty of freedom, encouraging out-of-the-box thinking from the player to meet the challenge and earn a golden spatula at the end. I also love Rehydrated's presentation. With the exception of the Kelp Forest and Flying Dutchman levels, the visuals in this game just pop with a vibrant colour and are accompanied by some great animations. I will admit a lot of the idle and conversation animations for the NPCs in the levels aren't anything amazing, but where it counts, with the cinematics and character actions, they're top notch, with a great deal of expressive squash and stretch that really drives home the feeling of playing an episode of the show even more. Even the idle animations for SpongeBob are great, they're hilarious, and they showcase the lovable sea creature's personality, with even some meme-related Easter eggs mixed in, so that's a real plus from the developers. A weak point I did find with the presentation was the music. It's not bad, but it's the type of music that's only fine in small doses, and if you've listened to it for too long, it really starts to get on your nerves. Granted, some tracks are better than others, but as a whole, I would have to call the soundtrack one of the weaker aspects of this game. Suffice to say, I enjoyed my time with Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. I may not have played the original release, but that did not stop me from having balls of fun every time I booted it up. Do I think it's a must-buy? No. But it's certainly one of the most fun games I've played all year, and a pleasant surprise that's perfect for gamers of all ages. If you had told me back in 2019 that one of the biggest games coming soon was going to be a remake of a Spongebob game from the early 2000s, I'd have asked if you were smoking dope. Yet, here we are. Well, better late than never, I always say. Sorry this video took so long. I've just been working flat out lately, and this week in particular has been really busy. Again, sorry this took so long. And same with the Artemis Fowl review, which will be coming up next, I promise you that. Now, for upcoming movie reviews, unfortunately, I don't have anything planned at the moment. Nothing's really caught my eye, and I've just been preoccupied with all sorts of stuff going on in my life right now. But for game reviews, up next, I'm going to be taking a look at the Destroy All Humans remake. I've been looking forward to that, and man, I cannot wait to tell you guys what I think about it. I got all that and more coming up, so please stick around.